The last thing you want to hear when you're really depressed is somebody telling you to pull yourself together, isn't it? Which you do get, you know, from people, but you can't, that's the point.
It was really hard to just get up in the morning and get out of the house and find the motivation and try and put the fear behind you, really. The fear of going out in crowds of people and everyone's looking at you, everyone knows what's wrong with you, all these kind of misnomers that you may experience.
It's easier said than done when you're in that position. It's very difficult to get motivated, I found anyway.
For many people with mental health problems, medication is the starting point for recovery.
At the time, I would say the medication was a sort of kick-start, I suppose, to make me feel well enough to be able to then put some self-help things into place.
Because medically you're in an imbalance. Your brain isn't, chemically, your hormones, your endorphins, everything is just sort of dampened down, and it's, and I knew I needed something chemically to help, but also just that on its own won't work.
A combination of medication and self-help is the answer for many people, and the balance between the two is likely to change over time.
I know there's going to be a period in my life probably where, I'm probably going to have antidepressants again. But I look at it as a short-term spell.
Medication can play an important and ongoing part in managing a range of mental health conditions. Everyone's needs are different.
I took the tablets for 2 years now, and I decided, right, I'm feeling better, I'm going to come off them, get back to being my old self, and I'm not going to be depressed. I'm going to do my exercises, which I've always done, I've always kept active.
I take medication every day because I need to, but I know people with my illness that don't take any medication now.
I started to slowly, with my doctor's permission, come off the antidepressants, and sadly it didn't work. I found that I just was going backwards, not forwards.
I don't dismiss the medical model totally, but I feel that the medical model and the social model has a place where they can relate together and work together for the benefit of you.
And so I realise now that I can stay on the sertraline, I can keep up with my exercise, and I can make my family happy because they hate seeing me depressed, and they've given me tremendous support.
After being on my medication for 4 months, I was starting to feel more like a normal person, if that's the right phrase to use, being in a normal place.
No matter what kind of normal you're after, learning self-management skills can help you get well and stay well. It helps you put the health back into your mental health to help you face up to the challenges at home and at work.
I think when you are signed off work sick because of stress, I think people, maybe partly out of guilt or out of lack of understanding of what's going on with them, they sort of hide away in the house because they can't be seen because somebody from work might see them. But actually, one of a GP I had gave me one of the best bits of advice was, you're off work for you to recover, and therefore you need to do things that help that.
Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else has got your knowledge, your experience of your problem. So really, they can try to help, but it's all up to you. It's all about helping yourself.
So go out, go for little walks by the sea, take up something, have something sort of healthy in your life that, diverts from how you're feeling, really.
But most important, you need to get out of the house.
What's very, very important is to have access to a network of different resources around you. So don't just rely on your GP, because your GP is going to be very one-dimensional. What you need to do is you need to focus on what else is around you in the community.
I found that one of the major aids to me was talking to other people. And I found that out actually because one day I had a library book. I read a lot, which I had to go back, and the librarian said there's a reading group on the coming Friday, would you like to come? And just that there's something to do, I went along. There was 10 women and me, but I like being part of a group. So talking to other people, even if it's just sort of around the edges, around the fringes, helps. It's a slow affair. You've got to take it slowly, and it'll come good. It always seems to work for me.
Next time, we'll take a look at the power of distraction.
It's unbelievable how much I depend on this new skill, which sounds ridiculous, but...
And introduce some surprising techniques.
I also did belly dancing for a while, which was great fun.
And when I'm doing things like that, I forget about myself.
I look forward to seeing you.